Hello and welcome to our group's business venture presentation. Our business idea is a nonprofit bookstore that is not specific to one genre. We decided that all of our earnings would be donated to a specific third world country, and that country is Africa. The book industry has grown exponentially in the US, and doing research for Africa, we found out that out of 370 million children living in Africa, 40% of those children have never stepped foot in a classroom. And those that do, 10 to 20 students share one textbook, so our focus is donating books there to help them. Our value proposition is providing books to people at an extremely affordable price. Whether someone is a student, a bookworm, or someone who likes to read in general, our store provides the books that are needed for all people. What is great about our store is that all proceeds go to Africa to help children further their education. We are also an exchange store, which helps with books not being wasted and being put to good use elsewhere. Our MVP is a wireframe for our website. It is the best way for our group to communicate with those we interview about what our business is offering. There are 3 separate pages: buying, donating, and our cause page, which is main focus is what we are doing with our profits.
So here we have our early evangelists. Our first idea for early evangelists were the social mission helpers. These are people who are do-gooders and want to make a difference in the world. And our second part of early evangelists are bookworms, people who are just excited about reading books and want to go to a new used store. And so bookworms is our early evangelist, like I just said. And they usually want used books for cheap, and used bookstores are very rare nowadays. And so we want to make it inviting and cheap for people to buy books. Our second customer segment is students. And a problem students have are the high prices of textbooks. So we want to sell used textbooks for competitive prices and just be another resource for those students. A third customer segment is the do-gooders, the people who want to help with our mission. And these are people that want to change the world, but maybe don't necessarily know how. So we will make it easy for them to either donate their used books or they can donate money.
The Get, Keep, Grow segment that reads for needs we'll use. The first is the Get. We will start by using social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, to help attract customers. We'll also start a GoFundMe account where people can donate so we can fund the books. Our other Get segment is the grand opening. We will have a grand opening where we will offer great prizes and give discounts to many people that come. Our Keep segment is a membership point system. With more money that you spend, the more money or the more points you're going to get. This will lead to free books or discounts. Also, if you donate a book, this will create better discounts for you. Our Grow segment is going to be friend referrals. Every time someone donates a book, let me back up. Every time someone refers a friend, Read for Needs will donate a book in their name to the children of Africa. Also, friends who sign up for our email will receive a 20% discount for the first time in store. The channels that Reads for Needs will use, the books will come from the publisher. They will be printed, sent to the wholesaler. Finally, they will arrive at our bookstore where they will be placed on the shelf and have access to the customers. The indirect channels, the customer will donate the books to Read for Needs. The store will collect the books. Once we have a sufficient amount of books, we will ship the books to Africa where they will reach a regional distributor. The books will from there will be distributed to the children. The revenue model The bookstore will offer books at a discounted rate to attract customers. This is where the revenue will come from. We will use the revenue to purchase books and send them also over to Africa. We will also accept donations that will be sent to Africa. Some costs that need to be paid attention to are the rent of the building, payroll, the cost of inventory, equipment in the building, such as shelving and cash registers, shipping costs when the books are shipped to us, then also shipping the books to Africa, the proper licensing and permits through the state, advertising costs, professional fees such as accounting and law, and interest on any loans that will be taken out by the company.
So we have 5 metrics that matter. Partnerships would be number 1. Key partners are one of the biggest components of a nonprofit organization. They tend to help keep the organization running by assisting with meeting goals through provision. So whether that's through funding, shipments, supplies, etc. Rent is another one. This is an example of a fixed cost and necessity for our nonprofit venture that we chose. Legalities and paperwork. This is also one of the big necessities, just because there's a lot of licenses, permits, fees, tax exemption, registrations, and applications that we need to fill out. And how are you going to operate or launch our organization if you don't take care of the legal matters first? Board of directors, according to research, the state of Massachusetts requires each nonprofit organization to have its board of directors. They help keep the organization afloat by taking care of any bylaws for operation, organization for finances or budgeting, etc. Income in a nonprofit organization, this is specifically used as a funding to improve the organization itself. And then up next is key partners. So these are just examples of our key partners. So we have organizations based in Africa that can distribute the books, publishers, logistics company, and then funding and grants. And to expound on that, so for our strategic alliance, we chose partnering up with Starbucks. This is the same concept as Barnes & Noble's plus Starbucks. So it's to invite more customers, since Starbucks has their own customers built up already. For joint business development, we ended up partnering with UNESCO, which is an office in Africa that has the same goal for education that our venture has. So we partnered up with them for book distribution once we shipped out our products to Africa itself. And then up next is co-petition. We ended up partnering with Better World Books for shipment of the books to Africa. They also have the same goals for education that we do. And key suppliers, there's several partners here. So there's Follett, World Vision, Grief, Massachusetts Nonprofit Network, Course Hero, Google. And these are just several ones for funding and grants for the organization itself, packing materials, book provisions. And you will see any rewards and risks for both us as well as our key partners. And for key resources, we have 4 of them. So the human, we want to foster an environment filled with passion, charity, learning, teaching, and fun for not only our customers, but our employees as well, to help meet our goals. Financial consists of funding, and that's through donations, loans, grants. Intellectual key resources would be the trademark of our company name, logo, application for tax exemption, and nonprofit IDs. And then our physical key resource would be the storefront itself, which our store is going to be located in Boston, Massachusetts. And then this includes anything physical, as such as books and other products.
As for our key activities, our first one's going to be getting donations to the schools in Africa that we're working with. So organization will be key in this aspect, as this is our purpose as a business and organization. Following this, funding is going to be really important. Without having solid funding, we're not going to be able to get off the ground. So these are our 2 first activities we want to focus on. Moving on to our business environment. Over the analysis that we did, there's 2 things that really stood out to us. First, in market forces, what we've noticed is that ebooks and audiobooks make up at least 40% of the book market currently. So this is something we need to keep in mind as our company grows, because this is something that's growing in books and in publishing. The other area we need to focus on is on our main competitors. Our biggest competitors are going to be online retailers, primarily Amazon and retailers such as like Amazon that offer books at a really affordable rate to customers. So to be competitive, we're going to need to have pricing that might not be as affordable, but similarly. Moving on to our SWOT analysis. So our SWOT analysis for our value proposition category of our BMC canvas. One of the things that we noticed is that a lot of people that like to buy books would be willing to change their method for purchasing books, knowing that when they buy books through us, that a portion of their proceeds go to furthering educational development, which is great. When it comes to revenue and costs, we also noticed that we've realized that when people donate books to our cause, that we can use those donated books that we don't ship to Africa, but we can sell those back to lower our costs. So that would be a great way to save. In our infrastructure portion of the BMC, we've noticed that one of the things that we're going to have to really focus on is that it's going to be difficult to fund a nonprofit. A lot of people want to fund businesses that are for-profit that will make money for them. This isn't the case with our organization, but we know that we can do it if we put our heads down and work hard. We can make a big difference. In our customer interface, the thing that's going to be most concerning is that we can be our own worst enemy here, as we are trying to operate a successful business and then take those proceeds to our nonprofit. We have kind of two missions here. We need to make sure that we are focused and that we are clearly driven by our mission, that we don't get overrun by just the business, or we don't let our focus on trying to help people in Africa take away from being successful as well, because they're going to go hand in hand. So these are both two things that we're going to have to balance and watch very closely. We would like to thank you for listening to our company, Reads for Needs, as we propose to you the big changes that we can all make together. Here's just a quick snapshot of our BMC. And thank you again so much for taking time to listen and meet with us.